Marco Dominic Gonzalez. This is video 11. Um, and I just left off on Dr. Miller's. I was talking about going to the Pima. I went to the Pima Community College to see a doctor because I didn't want to go see Dr. Miller, and then I had many issues with Dr. Miller and Dr. Miller's office, obviously. But let me get to the Pima Community College. I went there, and immediately when I went and I walked into the doctor's office, there was all these kids sitting down. I remember doing their studies. And when I entered the room and I sat down, I felt the technology hit me hard. This technology can also make you need to use the bathroom, so I can see how this can really be used as a torture device. Oh my gosh, man! I mean, it could be just horrible because I remember it was hitting me in a certain part of my brain, and it made my leg go numb, absolutely numb. And then I had to use the bathroom bad, and I went up to the girl and I said, I need to use the bathroom bad. She goes, well, you can't use the bathroom here. You have to walk all the way out here and go all the way around to use the bathroom. And I remember I limped. I believe it. I can't remember. And I have a lift right problem, but there was a lot of witnesses. There was all these kids looking, and they all laughed at me because I was limping all the way to the aisle. And I asked some kid, "Where's the bathroom?" And he was like, "Oh, way over there." And all the kids were doing their studies, and it's like they all looked at me at the same time. And they just start to laugh, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" It was so humiliating, man. And I remember I dragged my foot. I mean, that tech hurt me really bad, and I was afraid to go back to the doctor's office. It hurt that much. I went and I used the bathroom, and then as I'm using the bathroom, my leg starts to get feeling again, and as I'm coming back, I'm walking back, and I'm looking over, and the kids are kind of, it's like, gosh, I mean, that must be what a kid feels like in school, like it's bullied. That never happened to me as a little kid, but God, man, I said, my gosh, it's horrible, it's a horrible feeling, and I was injured, so. But there's a lot of witnesses there. Get one of those kids. I mean, there's got to be one of those kids that have a conscience. I remember seeing Dominic limping, man, and I heard this. They need to be interviewed. But when I went back to the office, I mean, I didn't want to go back in there, man. And then I felt the tech again. And then when I remember I went in and I saw a nurse that identified themselves as a Nurse Frank that looked exactly like Dr. Hartman. They almost look like identical twins. I want to know if they're the same person or a different person. And make sure, I don't want this to turn off. People keep messing with my video. But I want to know, is it the same person or a different person? You know, kind of a cold, callous demeanor, in my opinion. Again, get the surveillance videos of that. I want those given to journalists so you can dissect. Watch me limp all the way around. Tech was used in that waiting room. I felt the tech also in talking to the nurse. And I think I want to say one of my hands seized up. And he kind of noticed it, and he didn't say anything about it though. But again, that's an example of being in a doctor's office. And again, that's not. Somebody could say, well, they could have just made a makeshift doctor's office in order to put the tech there. I want to know what the truth is on that and what happened. And does that Dr. Frank, or who is that individual? Who is the lady that is a Hispanic lady that is the attendant? Who are the kids that saw me limp and laughed while I went to the bathroom? It's very important to understand, what did they hear, what did they know? Did they hear about technology being fitted into the doctor's office or not? I don't know. But people have to be liable for that because tech was put inside that waiting room and to the doctor's office. So again, that's another example. And this is again, this is a story that I've covered on a very long documentary. So. Very painful, very humiliating. It's humiliating to have to do this right now, to be honest with you. But again, I'm giving you examples, specific incidents of the technology. And what its method can do. Again, it can make you late fall asleep. It can make you have to use the bathroom really bad. When talking about that, in the urology office in the waiting room, the tech is in the urology office in the waiting room.